friends, how's it going? It is the 23rd of September, I believe the first or second day of fall. So we made it. Thank God. We have a lot going on, and we need to get into it. First and foremost, if you're new to this channel, please click the blue bell to get notifications. And also, if you would care to follow me on Twitter, check me out at True Reporting. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So right here, Q was just posted a couple hours ago. We have two posts, and it says here, this is from the 10th of September. Declassification of the FISA will initiate the resignation, recusal, and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. DECLAS of FISA will initiate the awareness that all signers will be currently under investigation. Declassification of FISA will factually demonstrate without argument the U.S. government under Hussein knowingly presented false evidence to the FISA court in an effort to obtain illegal U.S. intelligence under the umbrella surveillance of POTUS. Identify the target for the sole purpose of influencing the 2016 election of the president for the presidency. Not Russia, but Hussein, Hillary Clinton equals projection. They're projecting what they did onto Russia. Absolutely. Safeguard against possible loss of power firewalls. Use of back channels, surveillance, spy insertion, bodies 1, 2, and 5 by UK, Australia, and primary. Activated under director of the CIA and the NSA, Brennan and Clapper, with PDB regular updates, plus live streaming with within the White House, Hussein non-oval office situation room coordination. FISA fully will bring down the White House Q. Steps 1. Read the first sentence. Rod Rosenstein. The classification of the FISA will initiate the resignation, recusal, and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. Step 2. Read the New York article, Where's Wire? Rod Rosenstein wore a wire, attempts to bait POTUS into saying things to fire across the red line will fail. FISA declassification will bring the House down. Then September 23, this is from today. Declassification of the FISA equals Rod Rosenstein in the kill box. Self-incrimination. Rod Rosenstein in charge of declassification. Due to massive conflict of interests, Attorney General Horowitz was tasked to final review speed in the kill box. So the final review, basically they're slow walking that, obviously with Brett Kavanaugh too. Prevent left in danger sources and methods plus Mueller interference narrative. It will all come out. POTUS will not be baited to fire when the release itself will force resignation, termination of Rod Rosenstein. The UK, Australia, and others, the Five Eyes, must learn the true definition of ally. Rod Rosenstein prevented force from signing new FISA. All signers are currently under GJ investigation. McCabe memos, New York Times Rod Rosenstein article prove the rats are panicking. 2018 will be glorious. This line right here, guys. Prepare for sky is falling week. Now, this keeps getting pushed further. I wrote this down earlier. What is the purpose of pushing back Kavanaugh, who is a shoo-in for the Supreme Court, when they're screwed either way? So what is the purpose? Are they this delusional that they think nothing's going to happen? Like, are they this crazy? It seems like they are. I don't even know what they're trying to do. They can't escape. They can't go anywhere. I'm not sure what's really going on. It's pretty much pointless. I guess they just don't want to meet their maker because they're cowards. So yeah, those are the two posts today. I'm sure there'll be more. Well, just from scrolling down here, if you're unfamiliar with Vote, you need to get on there because that's Reddit's replacement. And I believe the board owner on 8chan is now running this Reddit replacement on Vote, the Great Awakening on Vote. So because I think they had too many mods, they were censoring, telling people not to talk. blocking, curse words and racial slurs and blah, 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 blah. And Q told them, no censoring, but we need to make it secure with military intelligence security so that, it can't be hacked. Let's pray that does not happen, but that is where the new posts, where everyone's posting will be, which is vote. So go there and go fall back on 8chan for Q posts. Other than that, let's get into some memes. I'm going to do a couple podcasts today. So like I was mentioning before about it being fall, I live in the southeast, and we were in a heat wave with a drought until the Hurricane Florence came through. Now it's cooling off, and I wanted to read this to you guys. Autumn blessings. I welcome all the energy of autumn into my life. Autumn is a time of transformation and reflection. Like the leaves falling away from their branches, my life flows and changes peacefully, and all at the perfect time. I take time in autumn to reflect on my life and where I am going in it. I have a clear vision of the changes that I need to make so that I may continue to grow in my highest good. I enjoy the cooler weather and all the changing colors that are unfolding throughout nature. This is the season of warmth and gentleness, a reflection of my inner self. With grace, I let go of anything that is not serving me positivity, and I make way for many new blessings. Absolutely, we have to live like that. We are in the midst, we are at the pinnacle of basically this great awakening, and you can't change other people. You can only change yourself. When you change yourself, the people that are creating issues in your life either change with you or go away. When you shift, everything around you shifts. That is the Great Awakening. Everything around you shifts for the better. Push out positivity, push out love, and that's what will happen. That will prosper us. And I know we know about this, but this is just a reminder. Due to the severe weather across much of the East Coast and ongoing response efforts, the National Emergency Alert Test has been postponed to the backup date of October 3rd. Now, we moved, I believe it was supposed to be the 21st maybe, but they've moved it, and I believe this was all in coordinates with the Brett Kavanaugh stall out, because of this lady who was accusing him, basically ruining this man's life. This whole thing is just awful. But we find this woman, this Christine Ford. We see here, Kavanaugh's accuser, Christine Ford, has family, Ralph G. Blasey III, that was formerly employed, get this, at the D.C. offices of Baker and Hostler, LLP, a law firm that reportedly made payments to the Fusion GPS. Source, the Daily Caller. So, yeah, the shills and these people that are going after him, it's all baloney, right? It's all baloney. And they're all tied to the deep state. They're just trying to postpone. I don't know why, like I said earlier, but, right here we see on Breitbart, women defend Brett Kavanaugh to CNN. She is also destroying his life. I don't know if that's, it could be, but it's all bullcrap if people just research this stuff. So we see now Ford, this is the accuser, is claiming that after the alleged attack now, which supposedly took place around 1982, this is how far they're grasping at straws, everybody. They're grasping back to 1982. And she says that she called a friend on her cell phone to tell her about it. So somewhere, either in Chicago, Baltimore, or Washington, someone plunked down $4,000 to buy the first Motorola Dynatac 8000X, the first handheld cell phone, on March 13, 1984. Brett Kavanaugh graduated high school in 1983. So think about that. This is a huge thing that you can show your normie friends if they don't believe what's going on, that they really believe that Kavanaugh is a sexual abuser. It's unbelievable. They have nothing, guys, nothing. They're just postponing their own maker. So let's go to something else real quick. Yeah, right here. Soros is buying, George Soros, we all know about him, the Nazi collaborator. Soros is buying Spotify and Pandora. Should you? George Soros is placing a huge big bets on the two largest music companies of streaming music. So, I mean, they're trying to get their mitts on everything, right? Anything that they can. So, more on the attack. Trump says, this was 2 days ago, I have no doubt that if the attack on Dr. Ford was as bad as she says, this makes so much sense, charges would have been immediately filed with local law enforcement authorities by either her or her loving parents. I ask that she brings those filings forward so that we can learn the date, the time, and the place. And what I've heard is she's afraid to fly, blah, 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 blah. But her attorney has said, I saw in the news today, that she will come forward this Thursday. I would love to see this freak show take place. It's nothing to be afraid of, guys. We know that Trump would never place someone in the Supreme Court that had a criminal record of domestic sexual abuse, obviously, right? So this is pretty interesting. On August 28th, Red October, red wave coming at midterm elections. There is a reason why we continue to highlight this speech. Listen carefully, Truth and Honesty, Part 2, Rally Red October. Mouthpieces do not think or speak for themselves. Red October. This is the red wave. I believe you saw that there was I believe it was a senator, not a senator, but a congressperson that was elected, the first Republican elected in 129 years in this county, this district in Texas. It is a huge Democratic, well-renowned, has a lot of black population there, a lot of liberal population there, and this guy won. He's wearing a cowboy hat, white guy. This is the red wave that they're talking about. Are these people, these Republicans getting elected for the midterms so that we can move along and push through this lagging effect from the Democrat Party that is stalling out this country. We need to move forward. We need to enrich this country. We need to be the richest, the most powerful country, the powerhouse, and they've held us back. Anonymous, October 31st. Note, MI has the same SAPs as NSA, CIA, etc. as designated post 9/11. Why is this relevant? Who can be held hostage and controlled? The CIA thinks its foreign offshore assets are strong enough to defend against the U.S. executive order, not accounting for military use on domestic soil. Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the president, and what is it to prevent? They knew our agencies would grow in power so much so they can hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission for the betterment of the country. Not all will be prosecuted and all will do as told. You will see more of this occur, not normal yet disregarded, and even on the Democratic side. So like I said, all of these people, all of these resignations from congressmen and CEOs, they're all within the swamp. This is all draining the swamp. And we need to refill Congress. We need to refill these seats with people who are not going to screw over us, the American people. This, as Trump says, this country's been placed back in our authority, and we're not going to let it be controlled again by the deep state. We're just not going to have it. So, anyways, follow up to the last post. Return to comments. Pelosi and John McCain, some of us refuse to say his last name for a reason. This all has meaning, everything stated, big picture stuff. Few positions allow for this direct knowledge. Proof to begin 11:3. We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. The only way is military. Think about it logically. The only way is the military, fully controlled, save, and spread once 11.3 verifies as first marker. Biggest advance drop on poll. So I'm just reading old posts from Anons because it really does make sense when you look at the big picture. Not all can be disclosed. And I see a lot of people, Neon Revolt's taking a lot of heat because he wants more from Q. A lot of people are saying now Neon Revolt is a shill. I don't believe that. I believe he is Q has never called him out. He's been telling people to go to the vote, the Great Awakening, VOAT site. He's not misdirecting people. Definitely not a shill. Definitely not a liar. Not all can be disclosed. Not everything can be publicly disclosed because so much ties back to the foreign heads of state. Much will be revealed. We want transparency, but not at a cost we can't recover from. Too much transparency could, ruin a lot of things, but, I believe in it. I want it. So this is from the 17th of September. Nunez memo, eh? Know who hyped that one up? Democrats. They lost their minds that Trump was going to declassify the memo, and Adam Schiff did everything he could to discredit the attempt, even an 11th hour allegation that the memo has been revised and needs to be reviewed again, despite the revisions being his own. They cried holy havoc that declassification would put people and methods in jeopardy. Then it happens, and the aftermath was the delicious "that's it" meme from James Comey. All of a sudden, Democrats try to save face calling it a nothing burger. Move along. Seems that folks like you forget the before and after, but I never forget. Now, was the memo a nothing burger? Nothing at all? In fact, Schiff was rightfully worried. The memo is just the start in a long chain of disclosure that is leading up to today. Here we go. It is the set background for an action like Trump is making to be reasonable. It allowed people like you to naively not worry. Expecting another Nunez memo. This isn't a memo, though. This is the pudding. This is the proof. This is the evidence. It doesn't get more real than this. This can't even be accused of as a spin because this isn't Nunez writing it. This is the actual FISA warrant signed and sealed. This is your comic book heroes, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, even Obama, if we get so lucky, writing and endorsing it. He's basically talking to Dems, people who are still sheep. Got your popcorn ready? Got your mind open? Russian collusion is about to blow up. Some innocent looking people are about to be guilty as F. And all your hopes for Mueller to get Trump are about to go down in flames. You are about to find out that the FBI used circular reasoning to justify the FISA by planting leaks in the mainstream media and then quoting their own leaks as justification to spy on American citizens. One in particular that was running for president. This is the worst scandal in American politics ever. I 100% guarantee this, as I do too. So, right here, Mark Taylor, be prepared. Sessions has been unleashed. The hammer is now dropping. There's a reason he is called the silent executioner. The military tribunals that will take place will make Nuremberg look like a cakewalk. Justice is here. I also saw on Fox News today that Lindsey Graham is definitely hinting at military tribunals. If you've been watching the news at all today, they are definitely speaking about it. It's pretty insane, to be honest. So let's continue on. So, Representative Schiff, we see you. Blow this up a little bit so I can read a little better. Narrative Shift. This is from, again, an old post, January 29th. The DOJ and FBI have previously informed me that the release of some of this information would cross a red line. Notice the Q post today, red line. Declassification of FISA. Rod Rosenstein forces the red line. New playbook needed. We see you, Q. So, absolutely, we see here, Nation on Alert, firing Rod Rosenstein equals block Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals set up to firing Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals red line. What was the Senate confirmation vote referring to Rod Rosenstein? Why did Rod Rosenstein beg Paul Ryan to block the FISA memo from congressional review further advancement? Real time. 7 congressional members, 3 senators, 2 former Oval senior officials, 4 outside contractors, no classification of top clearance levels, SCIF, DC, Capitol, top security clearance is mandatory for admission. How is that possible? We see you, Q. So yeah, it continues on, right? Now we see here the storm is upon us. So why did the FEMA presidential alert test scheduled for 30 minutes after Kavanaugh's postponed confirmation tomorrow also shift to the same 30-minute delta after the new confirmation hearing on October 3rd. So like I said before, the emergency broadcast was scheduled for October 3rd. It's been moved, but that goes exactly right along with Kavanaugh. Everything's in motion, guys. It's all in motion. I believe they have it under 100% control, and we do not need to be worried. They have nothing, guys. Nothing. So I just read this to you. We can move on. This is they have no idea what is coming, but they do know, and that's what scares them. This is from about 4 or 5 days ago. Watch them lash out against POTUS and Q even more over the next few days as the reality of the declassification hits the public and the crap really starts to come out. It's a yellow brick road that leads right back to Hussein, McCain, Hillary Clinton, and the DNC. Many careers will be ended by this declassification. Nowhere for the rats to run and hide. Expect more resignations and suicides, perhaps even some murders too. I concur about that also. Unbelievable, right? So this is on the same day. Another anon was mentioning what Q said about if people knew the truth, 90% would be in the hospital. When you realize your own government, entertainment industry, and basically everything else is manipulating you, using your children and poisoning you, it can be a lot to deal with. For me, it went even further because when you find out they're Satanists and actually believe they are harnessing the power of evil, it brought me to the realization God is real and they've been trying to make us godless people. Most of us already are. I went from an esoteric tarot reader to believer in Christ in the span of a month. I won't ever go back to that New Age lifestyle. God has really been my only comfort. Between research here, I also read my Bible. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I saw somebody created this. What if this is what we receive on October 3rd? My fellow Americans, the media is lying. Your trusted and respected leaders are being arrested for treason. Measures have been put in place to safeguard the public. Please be calm while America is being restored. The storm is upon us. And guys, that is it for me for this podcast. If you enjoyed it and you found it informative, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Twitter @TrueReporting. And if you would care to donate to my Patreon, $10 or more will get you free shipping on merch. I have shirts for sale. I also have card decals for sale. I've sent off a good many thus far. If you would be interested in that, please go to my PayPal. I will leave that in the description below. And I will also have my Patreon Patreon donation box in the description below also. Guys, I hope you stay safe out there. Expect more podcasts coming up. I'll try to do a live stream this evening. But like I said, be safe to one another, be kind to one another, and love one another. And expect another big week coming. This declassification is going to bring down the house. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. We'll see you soon. Bye.